Hi everyone. So today I was talking to my mentee. So this is how it works. It's like so in our school there is a DO school, and I just finished first year of a medical student, and we have this program. It's like a first year student or second year student giving advice to upcoming pre-med student. So actually like 2 days ago I just met my mentee for the first time via through Zoom. So it's pretty exciting. So the thing is, that really gives me the idea to make this like series of video. Like it will be maybe 3 or 4 video for this entire series. It's more like how, like, first one is more like how to prepare for med school, and then second one it's like how's the interview process. Third one is more like how I handle it in med school, and fourth it's like what I'm doing now, like what happened after the first year. So here's a bit of me. So in case you don't know, I am the first generation in my family who goes to college as well as to medical student. So in that case, because none of my family, they have like a medical field background, they can't really help me much with both my application process as well as like what type of classes that I need, as well as how to prepare for it. So I feel like to start out with, kind of classes that you need to take, to be honest, as long as you finish those like required biology classes, the basic biology classes, and I think that's pretty much it. Like you can, if you are wondering, you can go to like the AMC as well as like the university that you want to apply to and look at their requirement. And as long as you fulfill the basic requirement, it's fine. And let's say if you are a biology, like maybe if you're a biology major and you want to be like, oh, what type of like classes that I need to take in order to do better on MCAT? The answer is it really depends on you. If you feel like your foundation is good enough or solid enough, you can take like whatever class that you're interested in. But if you feel like you need to consolidate a foundation, maybe cell biology or human physiology, things like that. But the thing is, it doesn't really matter on what you take, but what really matters is what you're interested in. Because when I was in undergrad, I think for towards the 3rd year and 4th year, I am more geared to, after I finish all my basic requirement, I went to take immunology, microbiology, and virology. Because it's not because these things will be tested, because I feel like those are somewhat low yield on the MCAT side, because it's like, let's say micro viruses and also immunology, you will learn these all again in med school. But the thing is, it's like because I'm interested in those fields and I'm interested in those topics, that's why I took it, and I'm glad that I took it as well, because it made my life easier when when I'm in med school. Because it's like when the lecturer talks about certain topic, you be like, oh, I think I learned this before when I was like 4th year, when I was 12th grade or 11th grade. So that's pretty much it. As you're learning all those micro or virology and things like that, you're also reviewing basic biology, because I feel like for biology classes, it's more like as you learn new things, you're also reviewing old stuff. So I would say pick the one that you're interested in, and you won't regret it. And you will be also having fun while studying at it. So that will stick into your mind much more. But of course, if you feel like, oh, I think I'm really bad at like the basic or the fundamentals, then yeah, I'll definitely take some classes like cell biology and things like that to consolidate your knowledge. Next question is, should I take MCAT during school year or the summer after my senior year? So here's what I did, and everyone is different depending on like how you study and how ready you are. So it can go into different way. But to me, for my experience, it's like I took the MCAT twice. For the first time, I took it in the summer of my junior year. That was my first time taking the MCAT, and it was really a disaster. It's a disaster because it's a really disaster because it's like, as I said, I'm the first one in my school in my family who's taking the MCAT, right? So I don't know that, and I was trying to save money too, because if I want to go to med school, I want to save money for my tuition and my expenses. So I was like, those prep classes, I just put it away for now. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure some other people who didn't use prep book and also make it to med school, and let's see if I can do that. So it started out to be a mess. It's a complete mess, because imagine like 4 years of college. I was taking biology classes for the entire 4 year, and then I was like, wait a second, do I need to like review every single thing that I just learned? And if so, where should I start? Should I start from 9th grade, or should I start from 12th grade, or even which subject should I start? And then like, where do I get those like those information I review things, like Khan Academy? Well, I tried doing Khan Academy. I tried looking at my notes. I tried looking at the lecture notes. No help. It's not gonna help. And I tried to memorize everything, and that's definitely a no. It's not gonna work. Because the thing is, I feel like for MCAT, it's and obviously for the first time I didn't do so well because I have no idea how to study and no idea how to start. And the thing is, I realized that MCAT is a really strategic exam. It's like you need to have a clear direction on what's your weaknesses and what's your strength, and you also need to know like what are some of the high yield and low yield, and to know how to put those in your mind step by step, day by day. So after that, I I purchased the Princeton self-module lessons, and then I was doing that during my senior, I think it's spring semester. So I did that, and so that course, that online course, is a 3 months. Yeah, 3 months, like 2 weeks right after the Princeton, I will take the MCAT again. And the thing is, because it's like jam between my academic and as well as like MCAT prepping, that 3 months, it's like a 3 months of hell. I'm not joking, it's 3 months of hell. So I really like the Princeton. I'm not like making advertisement or anything, but it's just on my view and from my experience. I really like the Princeton package, self studying. It's because it's like online lesson. Let's say today you're doing, let's say it starts off with what's it called, critical analysis, like English. Then it will have like Monday, Wednesday, Friday you do that, you do this subject, and then Tuesday, Thursday you do organic chem and biochem, and then the weekend you do a psychology. I feel like, and all those classes, all those like online classes, it take place between 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. all the way to 11 p.m. or 12 a.m. at every night, Monday to Fridays like that. As weekends better, it starts from the early afternoon to late afternoon. So basically, for the weekdays, I would try to finish my homework or my assignment or my project as early as I can, so I can save the night to study for MCAT. And basically, here's how it works on my senior year for spring semester. So I have 8 a.m. class, get off maybe around like 2:30 or 3, and then start doing whatever I need to do, project, paper, and then get home, shower, eat. Well, sometimes I eat while I'm on the online class, and then go to online classes, and then do the homework that is assigned to you for MCAT. Because like for Princeton, they give you like homework, you need to do like how many problem or which passage or which things like that. So do the homework problem, and then preview for tomorrow's MCAT lessons. That's really important. And preview what it's going to talk about, because so this is how it works, and then repeat again next day, all the way to Friday, and then the weekend is better. If I don't have work or volunteer, then I would just do it in the afternoon. But the thing is like, why is it like even harder for me? It's because I didn't quit my job. I work as a part-time optometrist assistant in my senior year, and then I also have like 2 other volunteering events going on, but it's more like periodically, only when it's available. So it's more like I need to like schedule, balance my time and organize my time effectively in order to make that happen. And if you're trying to do the same, I really encourage you plan out your academic courses as well as your job or your volunteer. Because the reason for why I can do this is because during my junior year, beginning of my junior year, I am like saving. I already knew that. Well, actually, yeah, during my junior year, I was predicting the worst outcome in case I need to take a second time. So I took a lot of classes in my junior year, and then leave my senior year a little bit more chill, because usually I do 18 units every year, every semester, from freshman to junior. And then for senior year, it's only like 12 units. Yeah, so that makes me easier, and it gives me more time to prep as well as to study and do the other stuff like job and volunteer. So overall, I would say please, if you're like me, like the first one who's in the family who knows nothing and want to go to med school, please, I would say I would recommend some, like, not just Princeton, you can use any other like guidance like Kaplan or your or anything like that to give you direction on how to start and how to approach this. And you can definitely use other like other than those pre-packaged lesson. You can also go online and go on Reddit or Student Doctor Network to see if there are other recommendations that people are posting. And I know that like UWorld or Next Step is really good practice questions for MCAT, but I would recommend you to go onto Reddit and to see what other people are using, as well as asking on Student Doctor Network. But of course, if you want to ask me questions, I'm more than happy to answer. Yeah, so this is how I prepare for MCAT, and that's how you're like 3 months later, the moment I walk out that testing center, I was like walking in, because I'm in San Francisco, I was like walking on the street for like 1 hour doing nothing and just watching people like walking by. I was like, this feels so good and so relaxing, because for the entire 3 months I didn't realize I didn't have time to hang out, I didn't have time to do anything. But the moment I click submit that exam and walk out of the moment I walk out of that testing center, I feel like the world is beautiful and so peaceful again. And I'm so glad that I don't need to do it the 3rd time. Yeah, so that's how I do my MCAT and preparing. And then there's one other questions that I think it's really worth to talk about. It's actually two more, and then we are done for this series, because I feel like this video is running quite long and I didn't expect that, and I thought too much. Yeah, so let's say for example, let's say you have to take physics in your senior year, right? And then, or you have to take biochemistry in your senior year, and you know that MCAT has a biochemistry section. Then do you want to like take the class earlier, or you want to take the class later, so the moment you finish your class you can like start studying for MCAT so your memory still refresh in your head? So here's what I think, and everyone has this different opinion, but here's how I would do it if I encountered this situation. It's because doing MCAT and doing great on MCAT, it's all about repetition and reviewing. You want to keep review, and more review doesn't hurt. But if you don't have like enough review, then the result might not turn out to be that great. And that's the same thing with my school as well. So what I would say, it's like I would prefer to take those like required classes first, let's say biochemistry, a little bit earlier, so at least I can have like one time pass on all those material. So the second time when I see it on the MCAT book or on the prep book, I feel like, oh, I think I saw this stuff again, so I'm gonna review it. And the second time you absorb those information, it will be much faster and easier to like pick it back up, compared to like, oh, you just learned this and then now you're like, you just learned this and you'll feel like, oh, I learned all these things before and I can just focus on like what do you call it, other subject. But the thing is, it's like as you're getting close to the testing date, you won't remember it again. At least you won't remember it that well, because you only have that one time pass and that's it. So I would say to me, I would start early and to have a multiple review on it instead of relying on taking it and closing to the test date, because I feel like in that way you are also putting a lot of pressure on yourself. One way you would like to like keep reminding yourself to remember it, and the second, you also have like a lot of other subject to cover, so I won't recommend that. And that's one thing. And the other thing is that's something that I tried, but it wasn't really successful until I get into med school. It's should I start using Unki? So for people who don't know, here's also how I found out, because when I was studying for MCAT, I go onto Reddit a lot. So a lot of people use Reddit. A lot of people use Unki to help them memorize certain information and certain facts. And it's a spaced repetition note card stuff. It will generalize it, like you create a set of note card, and then you see them like every day, and then every other day, and then every 4 day, 8 days, something like that. And the goal of that program is to help you memorize stuff and in the long term, because it's spaced repetition. So I try to use that in while I'm studying MCAT, but as I said, because the first time I didn't know how to do it, and second time I already have no time, so I start a little bit, but I felt like I didn't have enough time to use it or to catch up, so I didn't use it at all for MCAT. But if you have the time and if you're curious on how to use it, I feel like it would be a really good tool on MCAT as well as like during med school. But so I would say, if you have the time, let's say you have a test for your upcoming like classes, right? And you want to see if you like Unki, or if you think Unki is a good tool for you, I would say maybe I would start using Unki for this small exam or this small quiz to see if I can retain the information well, or see if I can like actually use it and use it every day. And if it turns out to give you good results, then you can start to incorporate in your MCAT studying, because I don't want you to like fully put yourself into Unki yet if you don't know how to use it, or if you're not comfortable with it. In that case, you'll just waste a lot of your time. But instead of doing that, I recommend to test it on the water first, see if you like it, and see if you are familiar, see if that can really help you. If that helps you, then great. Then you can like start slowly and use it for your incorporate in your MCAT studying. But if it doesn't work for you, it's fine as well. Everyone has different studying methods, and you can put that aside for now and do the way that it's most comfortable for you. But what I have to say is that Unki, it's extremely helpful in medical school, because in medical school you are drinking from the fire hose or eating the pancake. Like those two analogy, I think like you heard of it before. If you haven't, well, welcome. This is the first time you'll hear it, and you'll hear it like so many times every year. Why you drinking from the fire hose? It's because it's like every single day there will be tons of like new information like throwing at you, and you need to like absorb all of them and retain all of them. And it's hard to do that, and but it's not impossible, because there's something called Unki. And that's why like, a lot of the medical students, they use Unki, and some of them they wish they even use Unki earlier to help them retain the material for board exam and licensing exams. So I would say if you have the time, maybe try to learn how to use it. If not, it's totally fine too. You can explore it like all over during your summer and see how you can play with it. So yeah, let's see if I want to add anything else. Overall, I would say first, find a direction for yourself. If you have a direction, great. If you don't, ask for help. Second, I would look at Student Doctor Network, Reddit, to look for advices on how to study and see if that works for you. Third, try to balance your time, especially if you want to do the MCAT preparation during your academic school year, because that will be very difficult. And balance your time. And lastly, try to use the study methods that's most comfortable to you and most useful and most efficient to you. And lastly, good luck. And for the next video, I will talk about interview process and application process. and stay tuned if you are interested, and remember to like and subscribe.